Hi all, Cassidy from the Information Addicts podcast here, coming back live from the desert. It's been a bit since you've seen my face, but it's also been a bit since you've seen me in the desert. For those of you who know, I moved to the Netherlands beginning of this year, and I'm back for a visit. Some personal reasons, some work reasons, all a mix, but it's nice to be back, and I figured it would be good to do another walk and talk. Especially because I haven't been able to do a lot just with the weather. And I think it was a good way to reintroduce myself and kind of give a little feedback on why I haven't been as active. And before I get too far into this, I just want to do a disclaimer. I might be a little bit jumpy in this video. I've realized the Netherlands has made me soft. I tried to get a package today, and there was a lizard in the courtyard, and lizards generally are not very dangerous animals, but it freaked me out, and I wouldn't even go out. And in case it comes up, I do have this little cattle prod here too, because about a year ago in this area, my dad got attacked by javelina. So now it's a precaution, a necessary precaution. But I just wanted to explain that so there wasn't any questions as I continued on and wondering why I have this thing in my hand. But anyways, hopefully it won't be too jumpy, but I'm prepared in case anything happens. Anyways, it's been a while since I posted. And I kind of fell into this sort of what the hell effect that people have found in willpower science, if that's even a field, where, and they usually talk about it with diets, but where someone has a really restricted meal plan or refuses to do something or is strict with themselves, and then they mess up, like they eat an M&M. Instead of just eating one M&M, they eat the whole bag because what the hell, I've already messed up. And when I was traveling, I was in Spain, and my video couldn't upload because the whole internet went out on the island I was on. And I fell hard into the what the hell effect, where every week when it came around, I had a video to upload, and I got distracted and didn't post it. And then I was like, well, another week. And part of that too has to do with the fact that I had to come back to the US a little bit earlier than I expected, just for visa things. I was already planning to come back for some work I have in San Diego and some family stuff, but coming back earlier just made me get into a mindset where this thing that I was doing kind of got put on the back burner, not really by choice or because I wanted it to, just because it was sort of where my brain was and dealing with what I had to do to get ready to come back about a month earlier than I expected. So apologize for that. I do have a whole backlog of videos ready to be posted. So hopefully I can get those out more regularly soon. But before I did that, I did want to kind of talk a little bit more about what I've been thinking about this little corner on the internet, because that's been another reason I haven't been posting a lot. So I've really been thinking about what the purpose of these big question exploration is. Oh gosh, a bird just like, okay. I hope you can hear that in the video because I'm sure I look like a freak show. Okay. But this corner where we're talking about worldviews, religion, politics, all of these things that have these big questions we're all seeking answers to. Why? What's the point of it? Why are we doing it? And what spirit and what spirit are we participating with it in? And I've been thinking about it. It seems like a lot of the content becomes lands in one of the three buckets, which to me is either explanation, exposing, or I don't think expose is right, but exposing and exploring. And I'll kind of try to flesh out a little bit of what I think that means. So explanation. Obviously you have these apologetics videos of people explaining what an idea is, why they believe it, why you should believe a religion or shouldn't believe a religion, and just trying to give reasoned explanations as to how we come to these answers with big questions. And it's sort of like, what I see for most of these people is they've gone through a time of exploration or had to question the thing that they held and found answers and want to share those with others. And I don't actually think that's a bad reason to create or do something, but it comes with a certain framework and a certain participation that I think starts to get a little tricky, because then we get so sold on the answers. We get so willing to become a teacher and tell everybody what they should believe and why, and how your answer is the right one compared to another. And I can appreciate that in a sense, and sometimes it was really helpful as I was going through a more serious questioning phase to hear people who are confident in what they believed and how they came to an answer to explore it so I could think about it more critically. But it really does have its limitations when it comes to having a conversation and getting to a place where you're really trying to figure these things out and recognize that there's a lot more sort of curiosity and intrigue in these questions than this simple 5, 10, 20-minute video could give an answer to. There's a lot more into it. And so it's something I've really tried to avoid in becoming as I do this thing. The other side of this sort of explanation coin, although all three of these probably feed into each other more than we realize, but another part of that is the exposing aspect, where you think you believe something wrong, or you think a certain group is telling things that are lies, and you're out to expose them. You want to show people why they're wrong and stop the spread of what someone deems misinformation. And there I have a harder time seeing a lot of value in that. I'm certain that there's a part of coming to a healthy view of comparative religion or comparative worldview seeking that has to get into this world of exposing things that aren't true, or unrooting the deeply held assumptions of people. But to me, I just think there comes a bit of a more negative connotation to it, because now it's not really just about how do we exploit things well. It's like tearing apart, and I think there's only so much tearing apart and exposing you do where it becomes an identity, and that's what you're known for, and then what are you building on? And I don't really want to do that. I don't want to expose people and try to make people feel stupid, or I'd rather focus on things that I think are more positive, or if I'm going to look at something and see it for its shortcomings, which I definitely can do at times, I'd rather just find a way to do it where it's more nuanced and respectful. And I think it's easy to get caught up in this clickbait world of like 7 reasons why I can destroy this or that, or why you shouldn't listen to this person. And I don't really want to fall into that trap. And that's why I think this exploration piece, is something huge and super important that I don't think a lot of people are taking as seriously and seeing the value of it. And I think often it's because people are looking from a truth mentality of like, well, especially from a Christian side, but it certainly happens in theist creations as well, where we have to protect people from the harms that this ideology, this worldview, this thing causes. And man, I can sympathize with the idea that believing a wrong doctrine, believing a wrong religion, believing something wrong about the world can be hurtful. But there's also a part of it that sometimes you need to believe the wrong thing to understand why it's wrong. And sometimes you need to recognize that even wrong things have some truth in them, especially the most popular religions, or they wouldn't survive at all. And I don't know, I just think that there's something about being in this space and allowing for the exploration and not being an expert on the thing that you're talking about, and trying to present yourself as that can sometimes be helpful, especially in creating a conversation that's more open, especially for a lot of people who are really confused about how do I come to an answer, how do I know it's true, how do I know if the path that I'm moving towards and I've been believing for years and years and years is the right thing. And I don't know how good I am about always doing that. I get very excited about what I believe, and I get very passionate about the way it's changed me. It's particularly about orthodoxy, as I've come to rethink that. Sorry, there's a plane or something. It's really loud. I hope you can't hear it. I'm turning around because I think the closer I get this way. Oh no, it's flying right over. I should probably wait. Oh, what was I saying? Do you want to see it? Oh, can you see it? Oh yeah, there it is. It's like a helicopter. It's so loud. The area I'm in, it's near an airport. So sometimes you get planes and helicopters. And it's actually not too close to a major airport, but it can be loud. Anyways, so when it comes to the way that I look at my new belief, I think I recognize I'm not an expert in it. In fact, there's so much I have to learn and so much I have to grow, and there's so much about it that I'm still kind of trying to uncover and explore the truth that lies underneath it, the beauty that I see in it, how it moves me towards the good. And I have to find this balance to where I don't get in that place. Or that's what I'm trying to do, where I don't get in that place where it becomes either this mode of explanation to tell everybody the truth that I've found, and this place of exposing the thing that I am not a part of, but really more balanced and being willing to explain the thing that I do and allow the path to where I feel like things got exposed to me in an honest way, but finding it to be, or trying to have the exploration part be the highest sort of value, where I'd rather be exploring than just explaining and exposing. And I think I'm at a loss of how to do that and what makes sense in how I do that. And I think that's just debilitated me a little bit as I try to kind of think, well then, what's the best thing to post? How should I post? How should I talk about the topics I want to talk about? And there's part of me that's probably overthinking all of this, and I should just go and create and allow that spirit in me that wants to be a place where it's more exploration naturally take its course. But there's also a part of me that doesn't want to let things run wild and take a course and move to a place I don't want it to go. So I'm trying to find that balance of both, and hopefully here in the next couple weeks I'll get more clarity on that. So this has been a lot of rambling and a lot of chaos, as these walk and talks usually are, and I know a lot of you hate these because they're so messy. But whatever, that's part of their charm. So what am I going to do next? I have a backlog of conversations that I have. I'm going to try and release them more regularly, but honestly, the next month and a half is going to be a really busy time for me. I have 4 different events that I am working. I have some personal things I have to take care of while I'm here, and it's going to be a little difficult to commit to that, but I will come back. I will be consistent, and hopefully I'll do it when I do feel stronger, because the last 6 months I haven't been the weakest I've ever been by any means, but it's been stressful. It's been a lot, and I've been taking on a lot, moving to a different country, trying to learn a new language, trying to build businesses and help them scale, and trying to figure out if those businesses are the things I want to be scaling towards. And so there's a lot of that, and I don't want this to become the thing that unintentionally gets put on the back burner. And that's a lot of what I want to say. There's a lot of bugs here. There's like stagnant water over here, and it's like really disgusting. Okay, you don't care about any of this. So that's it. If you have any suggestions or questions and you want to let me know, put them in the comments. I do read them. I don't always respond. Anybody who watches me normally knows that, but in case you're new, I'm not very good at responding to comments, but I try to read them as best I can, and I think about them probably more than I should. I don't know if that's true, but yeah, just trying to find that balance. Now I'm just rambling. I'm just getting lost, so I'm going to end it here. Thank you for listening to my rambling. I will be back soon, and hopefully with a little more consistency and a little more direction. So if you have suggestions on what that direction should be, let me know. Bye-bye.